surprise anyone? I guess it surprises some people that it's been this long, but would it surprise anyone to know that I'm here to talk about Alan Wake? More Alan Wake. Alan Wake 2, The Lake House, which is the second expansion for the Collector's Deluxe Edition. I forget what they called it. The more expensive edition of Alan Wake 2. It is the only way to get this expansion. They don't sell it standalone, but it is the second expansion.
Yet.
I mean, I hope so, because it's incredible and more people should play it, give people access to it. So currently, here we are. Here I am talking about Alan Wake 2, The Lake House, right before the Switch 2 was announced, so I just got to hedge all my bets. Currently only available as part of the Deluxe Edition. This expansion is absolutely incredible, Christian says, surprising no one. But I just remain so blown away with what Remedy does and is able to do in how they craft their worlds. So this expansion it took me a little over 3 hours to finish it from start to finish. I played it in one day. I was like, I should start the Lake House. I haven't played this and I should really play this. And then I was like, I'm not getting up except to go to the bathroom. Then I'm going to play more Lake House. And I won't give anything away substantively in terms of the narrative, but it is very much an Alan Wake 2 game, that being the controls, the camera, yes, the kind of, jump scares and stuff like that. It is still the Alan Wake 2 world and how you control your character. You're playing as FBC agent Estevez, who you meet in Alan Wake 2 proper. As I open up my notes to check that I didn't say something that I don't want to talk about, there's a reveal in it. I didn't want to mention it. But the way it brings, so in Alan Wake 2 controls and that scheme and that perspective, but it brings you into the control aesthetic in a really cool way. In Alan Wake 2, the Lake House is an FBC, Federal Bureau of Control center. And so they're able to bring you into this world that has rooms and areas and environments that look like the stuff you'd see in Control. I absolutely love that aesthetic that they did in Control. This kind of 70s retro futurism world where there's still, the camcorder with the big VHS tape and a big rotary phone, but also some sci-fi tech that we don't have in our world and stuff like that. And so seeing those environments in Alan Wake 2 as someone who's a huge fan of Control and a huge fan of Alan Wake, it really felt like the crossover cartoon episodes you get as a kid where like the Transformers meet G.I. Joe and they're like, they're putting my two favorite things together.
Scooby-Doo and the Globetrotters.
Yes. They're doing the thing. And I know there's already a shared universe and they alluded to it, but now I'm seeing it in the thing and it just feels so good. And the way that they fill their world with story in terms of placement and environments, I don't know if there's a studio who builds these 3D worlds with more purpose than what Remedy does right now. Like the way every desk is positioned, everything in all of the environments you go into just feels so purposeful in setting the stage and the tone and the story that they're trying to tell. And there's some really, really cool narrative stuff that happens in Alan Wake 2 expansion, The Lake House as well, further connecting these two stories of Alan Wake and the Federal Bureau of Control. And on top of that, it plays fantastic. It is still, the Alan Wake style of third-person combat and using your flashlight and using your weapons. But the way it just is covered in atmosphere is absolutely incredible, and the performances are great. Man, I don't think many people are playing it, unfortunately, because I haven't heard a lot of chatter about it online, and it's currently only available through the more expensive version of the game. But it is an absolute home run. If you liked Alan Wake 2 at all, I highly recommend upgrading to this expanded edition to get both of these expansions. 100% top tier quality, top to bottom, and a really, really cool story. If I had to pick between this or the prior expansion, I think the Lake House is the better of the two. The earlier expansion had some really, really, really awesome moments, but it also had a few sub-chapters in it that were a little flatter than the rest. And Lake House, top to bottom, is just top tier Remedy doing what they do best. Really incredible.
There you go. Alan Wake 2, The Lake House.
It's a lake. Bam, 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 bam.
I should check it out. I did like Alan Wake 2 a lot. I haven't tried this or the previous DLC yet. There's always so much pressure coming up on Game of the Year time, and some publications I'm part of, they're doing Game of the Year in like early December. So I'm trying to get through some of the stuff from this year. So even things that are, expansions for games, they're new expansions and they totally are important for this year. It's like, yeah, that's important, but I better really beat Metaphor, and Brothership is out, and I feel bad that I haven't played Infinite Wealth and whatnot. But at some point, I need to get to this.
Yeah, and it's there for you. I love that it's a standalone 3-hour experience, which I think is great. It works best having finished Alan Wake 2, certainly, but it's not something that a year from now will be bad, because you didn't get to it.
Yeah, I can see myself probably. I wouldn't be shocked if it's like, oh, Control 2's coming out next month. I never did go play those Alan Wake 2 DLC chapters. I'll go do that now.
Yeah. They're at the top of their game. And also, all the DLSS stuff, it's still just absolutely beautiful with what they're able to do graphically with all of the zhuzhing that's happening as well, with the full ray tracing. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, that's on Christian's playlist, Alan Wake 2, The Lake House.